Hello everyone, and today I would like us to look at the page sheet that we made last time, if you remember or if you watched my last video. And I mentioned that if you want to print, maybe it is good to use the layout, but sometimes you can also go to the model tab or the model space, where you will be able also to do the printing. But now there is only one problem to do this, because if you remember the drawing that I was making here, a sample drawing, you realize it is bigger than the page that we want to make, and for you to be able to fit the dimensions and everything to this page here, so you need to have some little hacks that you can do, because sometimes it is good to print on the model space and maybe it makes the drawing lighter, and it will not hang a lot, and also the issue of having so many layouts. So if we assume this is the sheet that you have prepared, you have the title block, you have where you put your drawing. Now if we want to measure this page, and let's see how big it is. So this is 420 by 297. So this is an A3 page. So you realize when you make a drawing, how do you fit it here? So that is where you have now to use the AutoCAD blocks. Okay, so what the AutoCAD block will do, it will block the size of any drawing you are making, and also block the paper size that you are using. So what will happen is, for example, if I block this, so I will select this page here like that, and on the command I will write block, okay, like that. Then I can call it sheet A3 size, like that. Okay, maybe I can have a point where I'll be able to be grabbing it. For example, I can come here and click here like that. Okay, now this page has been blocked. So now you do the same to the drawing that you have drawn. For example, maybe we can refine some things, maybe we can dimension, and that brings me to my second point here. For example, you realize anytime I want to dimension like this, these dimensions are not showing properly. So maybe you're not seeing anything here. This is because the dimension has not been set properly. So the way you set the dimensions is to come to the annotate tab, and let's see what we are using. If we have styles in AutoCAD, so this is a dimension style. For example, someone named this as ISO 25. So what we can do, if you want to change anything in that dimension, you come to here, you click, and then you find that dimension style and click modify. So if you click modify, you see the settings. For example, you have the lines, you have the symbols like the arrow hands, and then text and all that. Fit how you are going to fit the dimensions. For example, the space is very small, so let's start with the lines. So with the lines, for example, you can change the dimensions line type. Let's put continuous. Let's also change the line width. So it's good not to have them very big, so that they don't crash with the drawing and appear like part of the walls or something. So maybe I would prefer you have something like 0.13. okay, and okay, the extension lines, for example, these are the extension lines. You can also change. You have continuous, the other one you have continuous. These are the extension lines, okay. And also you have the line width. We can still go 0.13. okay. Then how do they interact with the drawing? So if I put this offset here, it means that, for example, if I dimension, for example, we assume this is a wall, so anytime I dimension, there will be a gap here which is 0.63. okay. So it will never touch unless you drag it, but by default, if you set like this, so I prefer maybe you can put 0. maybe 1. okay, the other one can just maintain like that. Okay, so another thing, now the arrowheads, they have to relate properly with the scale you are using. So we realize when we fit this drawing into A3, maybe we can assume a scale of 1:100 or 1:75. So if we assume 1:75, so the arrow size we can give like 150. okay, then we go to the text. So to the text, we can change the text height. So maybe we can put 150. okay, and you see now they are changing, but maybe if we, by the time we, okay, it has reset properly. So the other thing is how the text will align with the dimension lines. So if we put horizontal, for example, like this is horizontal. If we align, they lie over the dimension lines. And if you put ISO, you see it doesn't have a lot of difference with the line. But what ISO does is, if your text is not on the dimension line, it tends to be horizontal, to be on a horizontal alignment. okay, so we can go with the aligned, so that they don't have to change the direction. But sometimes you might find you might try to use the ISO. That is where it fits. Then the other thing is the offset from the dimension line. The offset from dimension line is the distance from this dimension line to where the text lies. So you'll find if, for example, if I stay with 0.63, the gap will be very small between the line and the text. So let's put like 10 to match the scale, to match the text height and the arrow size. Okay, the other thing is the precision, and because we are using the millimeters, we can go with the precision of 0, because I believe no one is going to find 0.00 of millimeter. So maybe just stick with the precision of 0 because we are using millimeters. So the other thing is the decimal separator. That one it's good to use a period. You depend on your standards and what you are using. Okay. The other thing is the angular dimension. The angular dimension is how you are the angles, how they display. For example, you can have the decimal decrease, you can have decrease minutes and seconds. You can have so if you have decimal decrease, that means like you can have 20.3% like that. So the other one can be like the decimal minute degrees, minutes and seconds. So this one will be according to this format and so on. So the precision, just like what you have on the linear, you can have for example, if I have decimal decrease, then I can have with no points, or I have 0.0 or 0.00 in that order. Okay, so let's stick with what we have changed here and so on. So if we click OK, like that, so we have changed the ISO 25, you can see here. So let's click OK. So you realize now they are displaying properly. What if you want to change this text style? For example, this is a courier or something. Let's see what it is. So you just come back here and click modify and see, go directly to the text. So we want to see what text type or the text font is being used by this text style. So we click here and we realize this is TXT type of font. So maybe we can use Tahoma. I like Tahoma, or maybe let's also use Times New Roman Apply. Okay, like that. So now you realize they are displaying properly. So what now means that anytime you use this ISO 25, you have this kind of a format on the dimensioning. So let's dimension the other side. Okay, sorry, in dimension like that. So the way to dimension is click, then where you want to place the dimension, click again, like that. Okay, let's also dimension the other side, like that, then where we want to place the dimension, there. Maybe we can also have more, like that. Okay, then if you want to continue to dimension all the other portion of the drawing, you can use the continue. So if you click continue, by default it will just go to the last dimension you have put, but looking on the command line, you can use the select. So if I click select, then I can go anywhere I want. For example, I want to continue dimensioning this one, so I click here. So now I can go on clicking like that, maybe here and here, then right click, enter. Okay, so you exit from that command. So if I feel that they are too much close together, I'll just come here and drag like that. Okay, then I can hit the escape button. The other way I can also do this is I just select everything like this. Okay, then I click home, then I use the stretch. So if I use the stretch, I'll just click somewhere here like that. Okay, so these are the dimensions. So supposing I don't like the way this one is displaying here, so I'll just click here, then I just move my cursor, I touch this selection, for example here. So because I don't want it to have a tail or a leader, I just click move text only. And now for me to be able to move the text properly, that the way I want, I'll come here and deselect the orthogonal like this one, and also I don't want it to snap to anywhere. I just want to press it where I want, like here. Okay, then I hit the escape button. So this one I do the same. I just put the cursor here, I just move text around. Okay, so do the rest like this, like that. Okay, and the other thing I can do is maybe I want to can also have a window here. So just by doing the presentation indicative, so I just hit the snap button, I can draw a line like this, and maybe I want to offset my window from the wall to some distance. I can do the offset and maybe go 1.5, let's try 1000 like that. Oh, it's very near, it's okay, no problem. So maybe I can also offset again. Maybe I make a window of let's say 1000. Okay, enter, and now I can come here, I select everything, then I trim. Okay, so maybe I can also come here, pick a line by polyline, then I run a line here, enter, like that. And maybe I can also maybe copy this line and I move it like this, leaving a copy. So this button means that I'm leaving a copy. If I use the move, I'll not leave a copy. Okay, so I just move it like that, leaving a copy. I can say like let's say 275. Okay, then I click enter, or I just hit the enter button. So I can come here, I move, I stretch this line, polyline, this one like that. Okay, so maybe I can select everything like that, and I trim like that. So and maybe just to have a window, maybe I can also offset maybe 50 like that. So this is an indicative window or a window symbol. And now for me to be able to use it, instead of drawing so many of them, I can just come here, I select like this. You realize when I select like this, I only select these lines, okay, and maybe I can come here and click, say I broke those lines to make a window symbol like block, okay. So I can call them window. Then I have pick the point here like this, like that, okay. So I can now move them wherever I want. Maybe I just click copy, okay. Maybe I have another window here like this, okay. So to avoid so much conflict here, I can first of all, maybe we just drag this dimension here, and maybe we see if the kind of dimension we have is okay. So we just click, then this is where I want to dimension. So go back to the annotate tab, continue, okay, okay, okay. Then the last one here, right click, enter, okay. So let's get this one out of the way here. So maybe I'm happy with this one, but maybe I want to move this one a bit, like let's say 7. So I just click it, I go to move, I just go, then I indicate 7, okay. So and automatically the dimension adjust, okay. Also maybe we can also do this one, some moving, and maybe move by 1 like that, so that we have 3980, okay. And to save time, the rest you can do the practice. So maybe let's use the dimension and dimension the last part here, okay. Oh, what happened here? So like that. So the other thing we can do, maybe we can have the names of the rooms. Maybe we can assume this is an office or something like that. Perhaps you can add another window here. So click like that, then we move the window here, then enter. So we can also rotate, so you can do like this. Then we can use the reference. So you go back, you trace the line here like that. Then you grab that point, then you rotate. So if you want to be very accurate, so you just click the other mode, so you turn like that, okay. And I realize there is this line here which is standing, which is showing, but it should not show, because this, we are assuming this is the window sill. So what we can do, we can break it. This is the break tool. So I just click here and I click this line, then I just move the cursor without, just move the cursor, don't press anything. Then if you get to this point, you just left click like that and do the same here. Okay, don't worry about the dimension. The dimension you can always move them back. So what was this? I think this is supposed to be on this side, and maybe they are crossing too much, so we can also grab part of the dimension and move it to where we want it to be, like that and like that. That is okay. And also don't leave so much gap here, so maybe you can just move it like that so that the drawing becomes neat. And just check if everything is okay, like that. And this one you can also, when you just hover the cursor here, you can just move like that, but then you should have the snap not checked so that this text doesn't snap anywhere. Okay, now the last thing is you want to do the annotate, or to give the rooms, we know which is which and what is what. So we just come here, and maybe we can use there are two types. One is the single line. If you enter, it will only show, you'll only be able to write on one line. You cannot enter the other line. So let's use the single line. Okay, so this is where I want it. Maybe the height, we can try 150. Okay, enter. So rotation is where the direction you want your text to move. Because I want them to move like this, I can just move the cursor or just enter to stay at 0. Okay, now let us write something here. Let's write the office. Okay, like that. So you can just escape and remove, maybe to somewhere, but you realize maybe it is very small. So there are two ways you can do. One is to, if you want your text to be very uniform, one is to create a text style that you'll be using for naming the rooms. So you go back to the annotate and you click this button here, and when you are here, you can make your own text style. So you just click new. So if you click new, maybe you can call it the rooms text. Okay, like that. So maybe I just want to change, so maybe change this one to, okay, click this one, then we change the height to, maybe let's try 250. Apply, close. So if we now come here, we can change. So there are two ways you can change here, or you can change here. Maybe I find it better to change from here. Maybe just go to text like this. Now you see it is a bit bigger because we have changed the height. So we can have that. Maybe we can, now instead of keeping on typing, you just copy like these and these. So you can, maybe if you want to change, maybe you can have this one as Arobi, like that. Maybe you can call this boardroom. Okay, so this one you can just move like that. Now you have your little office. Okay, so this one you forgot to break, you can break like that. You go snap and put it in other mode. The same here, just stretch that line. Okay, now the question is, we want to put this drawing into this page here. So you realize if I scale, I lose the dimensions, and I don't want that. Oh, something happened here. Okay, let's see. Okay, something was not right here, so we just move this one. So how do we do that? So the way you do that is you select everything like that, and you also block. You block that the drawing, enter. Maybe you can call it office plan. Okay, then you click, then maybe find somewhere. I can find somewhere to be grabbing my drawing. I don't know, somewhere convenient like that. Okay, now the fun part is you can scale your drawing now just using the normal scaling tool, this one here. So I'll just come here, maybe I can just click here, and because now it is becoming crazy, I just use the reference, then I click here, then I click the second point. You see my command, the command line is telling me to get the second point. Then you see, that is the beauty of AutoCAD. So you just click. Okay, now the rest is very simple. I know you know what I want to do. Just move it here. So you can also scale it once more, maybe click here like that, and maybe this time we can use a factor like 0. Maybe try 9. Okay, oh, still big, so let's try another one here. Maybe just click somewhere here. That's 0.75. okay, oh, okay, once more, let's go. Maybe this time we better use the visual one, maybe it is better. So like that, now it will reduce. You reduce like that, so it is similar to what you are doing with the scale. So you just have your drawing fit inside this page. So maybe we can scale a bit like that, reference here, and maybe snap like that, and your drawing fits, and you have. Now if you just want to understand that concept, you see nothing has changed. So we have the dimensions correct, we have the everything correct. So within a matter of time, you don't have to do a lot of work. Now one thing you have to note is there are two ways you can modify this. One is to extrude. If you extrude this drawing will jump back to the size it was, and it will be very hard to control. So if I want to change something, for example, if I wanted to maybe to subdivide this room again and maybe have some dimension, maybe what I have to do is to right click and go to block editor. Okay, so in the block editor you can change just like in the AutoCAD model space. So maybe you just do that you're plotting here like that. For example, maybe I want this one to be tentative, like 3500. Let's see how much this is. 45. So let's say 4500. Enter. So okay, let's offset 275 or maybe 200. Let's say 200. Okay, so now here you can do whatever you want, like this. Maybe you can just pick this part of the building, and maybe can have an offset of, you can use draw. Maybe from there you can put let's say 1200, or I don't know the size. Okay, like that. Then you can just trim. Okay, and the rest, maybe we can change the name here like that. Maybe call it private room, private meeting room. But remember, this is okay, maybe let's try to fit it, because this is a single line text. Even if I enter, it will not enter. It will just remain one line. So maybe the other option you can have is just to copy this and do like that. Maybe delete part of this. Okay, maybe this will service the same, I don't know, or so click save. Now everything is okay. So that's quite it for today. Please remember to subscribe if you have not subscribed. Leave the comment on what you can improve on what you are doing, and if you like what I'm doing, so share my videos, and thank you very much for your time.